Welcome, folks. I'm Jabby Kuwait, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
What's up?
We are continuing on with The Sandman, Episode 4, A Hope in Hell. So if you guys are watching this on YouTube, you will see a cut-down version of our reaction because we're only allowed to show you a limited amount of picture-in-picture. However, if you want to watch the whole thing with us, no cuts or interruptions, head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/JabbyKuwait, or become a member of this YouTube channel so you can watch the whole episode with us, the whole season for that matter. But you will need your own, not Patreon subscription, you'll need that, but you will need your own Netflix subscription so you can open up the episodes in an adjacent window to our reaction, and it's like you're watching it with two of your favorite pals from the internet. We do give you a 3, 2, 1 countdown sync, and there's a little time code to make it real easy for you guys to be in sync with us while watching the show. Also, we've got a ton of stuff on Patreon that you guys can check out. We've got Korean shows like All of Us Are Dead or Squid Game. We've got movie watch-alongs like Total Recall, and ACHARA just watched Alien for the first time with Steph Sabra. There's just more to come. You guys should join our Patreon or our memberships. If you're watching this on Patreon or memberships already, thanks so much for supporting us here. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this up. Let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. Here we go.
I just didn't expect hell to be cold.
Well, it's not supposed to be pleasant.
So, which way do we go?
I suggest we follow the damned.
Oh. I love the, like, really red skyline.
Where to hell?
I had a really dark joke in my head.
Oh.
It's a good preview of where most people are gonna end up. Yeah. Just kidding.
Neil Gaiman actually makes
I recycle.
an interesting...
Do you need a ride somewhere? I'd be happy to take you.
I'd hate to impose.
Oh, you're not imposing at all, honestly. Where are we headed?
She's a nice lady.
I'm Rosemary.
Rosemary, I'm John.
Good to meet you, John. Come on, I'll introduce you to Susie,
Who's Susie?
my Rottweiler.
Oh, is the dog gonna blow up?
I don't know. Gosh, that'd be awful. You must follow decorum. Whoa. Hello there.
Can you imagine if that was your purpose?
Your job. And like no one came to visit. Just like chilling out for millennia.
Ew, look at the guy on the...
Oh God, I didn't even... Whoa.
I am the king of dreams. Or will you open the gates of hell and let us through?
He's sassy.
Take us to the palace.
This one at the door. This one at the door. This one at the door.
So,
Goodness.
Spoken like a woman with children of her own.
2 girls. Samantha, Sarah.
She is too nice.
She's giving a lot of information
I
away.
know. She is too nice.
She had me arrested, of course, and thrown in prison.
For stealing the ruby?
And arson. And murder.
Oh my God.
When we first met, Lucifer was the angel Samael.
I forgot the devil used to be an angel.
Not just any angel. The most
Beautiful. I was gonna say the word beautiful.
This way.
This is a great thing to watch late at night.
His selfishness in life begins to make a lot more sense.
911.
All right.
Oh, sorry. Phone
Oh.
slipped.
Are they not going to talk at her?
Do you mind if we stop for gas?
No, not at all.
Oh God, she's lying up the wazoo.
That's It's a very satanic symbol, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Gotta have a pentagram.
Yeah.
Oh.
Rad Rob.
Oh gosh.
Now, Dream, you may inquire, which demon has your helmet? Shall we interview them one at a time, or...?
It won't be necessary.
How's it gonna narrow this down?
He can probably feel, because it's a part of him.
And now it brings that which is mine in hell to me.
It's kind of a bit of a Robert Pattinson look.
He does?
Yeah. Certain angles. I mean, Twilight. Oh.
Oh, there it is.
And if the Dream King wants his helm back, he will have to fight me for it.
I challenge you, Corazon.
You know the rules, Dream Lord.
If I win, you will return my helmet.
And if you lose, you'll serve as my slave.
Well, you can't lose now.
I accept the terms.
Not even a word.
Battle?
I shall represent myself.
Corazon. Whom will you choose to represent you?
I choose you, sire.
You can do that?
I was wondering about that.
Whoa, nice costume change.
Looks like I have to prepay inside. You want anything? Are you thirsty?
No, thank you. I'm fine.
I won't be a minute.
God, I'm really nervous for her.
Rosemary. I could use a drink, if you don't mind.
Sure. What would you like?
Can I come in with you?
I don't know. I haven't been out in the world for 30 years.
You've been in prison for 30 years?
No, psychiatric hospital.
God, it just keeps getting worse.
Whatever you want, my treat.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. I'll just give the guy my credit card.
Oh,
God,
Lord.
how is she gonna communicate to him? He's not. He's got headphones on.
I need you to call 911 for me. The man I'm with is an escaped murderer.
Yeah, this is the filling station out on Route 7.
Oh no.
Young man, I assure you, you don't want to point that gun at me.
Sir, you don't stay where you are, I will shoot you.
Please don't. You'll only be hurting yourself.
Oh God, the necklace is so freaky. Oh God, you're in trouble.
In a contest of skill, confidence, and transformation. The oldest game.
Jesus, what a set.
I am a dire wolf. Prey stalking. Lethal prowl.
What?
It's just because of Game of Thrones.
I am a bird of prey, snake devouring, talons ripping.
Oh, she must have played the game. That's where she got the scars. Come on, dude, get up.
Boom, bitches.
Thank you, Murzakin.
Is the idea that nothing kills hope?
Yeah.
Tell me, Lucifer Morningstar, what power would hell have if those here imprisoned were not able to dream?
Oh. Nemesis made.
When he says, I'm Hope, your turn, I would have been like, I'm a woman.
Maybe
women crush Hope, mash it up. Like,
maybe Coruscant should have chosen you as a champion. You would have crushed Morpheus in this.
Think Lucifer will come after you?
Why?
Because you just publicly humiliated the ruler of hell? Can you even see in that thing?
I can. I can see the ruby.
Oh, we're getting somewhere.
Oh, here we go. That is so cool. Oh, did he get here first? He can't use it though, it's been altered.
Are they actually there right now? Okay, they're actually there right now. I didn't know if it was like a vision or something.
Something's wrong. Someone's altered it.
Don't try and kill him, just go. Just go, lady.
What are you still doing here?
I know I'm gonna regret this, but do you need a ride somewhere?
Why the fuck would you
Are you an Uber?
You're a good person, Rosemary. Unfortunately, good people seldom survive in this world. Here.
Oh, wow.
There's no need to be afraid or tell a lie ever again.
Don't you need it?
No, I have my ruby.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that.
And I'm going to use it to save the world.
It's a good cliffhanger.
Wow. Oh my god, next episode's gonna be crazy.
I guess he's honorable.
Yeah. Oh my god, he's so interesting. David Thewlis is doing an amazing job as John. Like, he's just, I mean, we already knew he was a really good actor, right? But he's so good because he's playing all the different nuances and, like, I don't know, I was kind of feeling for him as this damaged person who's, you know, his whole life has been running around, his mum lying to him, and he's obviously unhinged mentally, but at the same time just externally seeming like someone who is just innocent and kind of sweet and all.
Yeah.
And then, but then having this like underlying menace, and I thought he did that so well.
Well, ever since the moment we saw his face in the show, I just knew he was going to be dope. I mean, I'm familiar with him as an actor, and most people are probably familiar with him from Harry Potter, but I've been watching him since I was a little kid. And
Yeah.
he's always been really good. And so, yeah, I mean, he's killing it. Absolutely crushing it as this quiet but terrifying individual. The end of the episode showed us is that he does have his principles, even though he's like this person who is willing to take lives. He has a code that he lives by. And that's interesting. It makes him more of a, I hate to be redundant, but it just makes him more of an interesting individual to watch, you know, and to spend time with. I thought that was just a cool moment of him to give that away. I'm like, if I'm him, I'm keeping both of those items.
Right.
I have no reason to give that up. But I guess in his mind, the ruby is way more powerful. This is a trinket now, and he doesn't need it anymore. He can part ways with it. But she did honor her, like, her word. She, you know, and she also offered to give him another ride somewhere else in spite of herself.
Yeah.
And so he just saw something pure in her that he appreciated. And so he's like, here you go. Now you're protected, you know, because the good often don't survive. I thought, you know, I think I fell for it because whatever he was going to pull out, I thought it was going to be something that was going to just explode her face right there.
Yeah.
You know, but instead he was giving her eternal protection. Basically, for all intents and purposes, like long, everlasting life.
Yeah.
So long as she's wearing that, she gets to live a much longer life, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The scenes between the two of them were so good as well, because I think it kind of makes us question what we would do in that situation as well. You know, like I caught myself saying stuff like, and that's why you don't pick up hitchhikers and, you know, that you find on the street and stuff. But then conversely, you know, there's the other side to that is we can actually make choices to help other people and do good. Like we need people like that in the world, but then the fear is that something bad will happen to you if you do something like that. And so I just thought it was just like a really interesting thing to kind of play with and think about.
Absolutely. I would not pick up some rando on the street. Like ever.
Honestly,
No.
yeah, that would scare the crap out of me because of a situation like that. It's like you pick up someone you think is unassuming and they turn out to be a complete psycho.
It was nice to see Gwendoline Christie in this as Lucifer Morningstar, and the portrayal of Lucifer was also interesting. I'm so used to her Game of Thrones look. Like they made her look even prettier somehow. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't find her attractive in Game of Thrones. I don't think I was supposed to though.
No, you weren't. Yeah.
But I found her attractive here. Like they gave her this like very angelic quality.
Because, yeah, she's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've never seen Lucifer quite portrayed that way, because the way Lucifer is described in the Bible or just in Catholic school is like he was the most beautiful angel of them all.
Yeah.
And his hubris is what got him kicked out of heaven by Michael the Archangel. Like they had a battle in heaven and then poof, got kicked him out, and then Earth is his domain or something like that. But he controls Earth. It's something weird like that. I don't really get the rules. It doesn't make any sense to me. But yes, hell is his actual domain. I don't know. Someone Catholic explained it in the comments. The image I have of Satan in my mind is like this red guy, kind of like something out of Legend, you know, with the horns and the wings and everything like that. The Tom Cruise film, Legend.
I've seen it.
Oh.
Upcoming watch along, you guys.
Yeah. Well, generally that's how I think most of us look at or think of Satan, right?
Yeah.
Is this red demonic creature. And then the other image of Satan in my mind is actually from Constantine. I forgot the name of that actor who usually plays like a Russian or something. He was in Armageddon. Anyway, he played Satan in Constantine.
Oh.
Can't remember his name for the life of me. No, actor who's been around for a very long time. Very, very good.
Uh-huh.
He's in a white suit and he's got this sort of slimy, like inky finger kind of thing.
Yes.
And he was barefoot. Like that was the other image of Satan in my mind, right? Someone who feels like this salesman who never died.
Yeah.
Negotiator, you know, and very, very charismatic. So I thought she did a great job as Lucifer Morningstar. This person who is a ruler of this domain exudes so much power with every word spoken.
Yes.
You know?
I really enjoyed the scene work that they did together. There was so much going on underneath, like all the subtext of like the various rules and decorum of how they're supposed to relate to each other, because they're both monarchs of their own realm. But also, like, while she's saying these niceties to his face, you kind of get the sense of contempt that she has towards him underneath. And then that whole scene with them where they were kind of trying to one-up each other in the game, where they're saying, I am this, I'm that, like all of those kind of Ridley type stuff that they were doing. I thought that the visuals for that was so cool.
I thought the whole episode was dope in that regard. I mean,
this episode was awesome.
In terms of just the exploration of hell, like how do you show that in a way that we have not already seen 1,000 times, right? There was some striking imagery that was, dare I say, beautiful. And that's what really threw me, because there was a moment when, right before he said, she sent the signal to say, you know, we're welcome or something like that. I forgot what it was, but it looked like the trees had this sort of fire or this light kind of radiating from it, as if it was being pulled apart with light. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
It's almost like in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness when you saw the material coming off of the building. That's how it looked like, but with light coming off of the tree. It had this sort of bulbous shape to it. I thought that looked cool. Like, I'm like, I don't know what's happening there, but it looks awesome. And that was right before they actually met her.
Yeah.
And, sorry, it's a dude, right? She's playing a guy. It's
well,
Lucifer.
the thing is, technically, the angels are sexless.
That's true.
So
they have no gender. gender. That's
They have
right.
no gender.
I learned that
Yeah.
in the Kevin Smith movie.
Male, female, looking, whatever. She, he, they.
Androgynous.
Yes, androgynous,
Yes.
absolutely. Also, saying that, I do agree with you that the visuals were really amazing. I mean, I really enjoyed them, and the exploration of how hell would look like, and also the demons and all that. A part of me did kind of wish that they took it further, though, and just kind of really went grotesque and nasty with it.
Okay.
Because I guess listening to the audiobook and hearing, I'm gonna say this, I'm sorry, but like, you know, listening to it and stuff, there's stuff in my mind where I'm like, oh my god, that sounds really awful. And I feel like they kind of held back a little bit, and it could have been more, but I was happy with what I got.
But we've seen that so many times. Like, if you go back to Constantine and look at Keanu Reeves or John Constantine going into hell, and it's exactly what you think hell would look like. Awful, right? And so I feel like we've seen that sort of demonic appearance so many times.
I understand what you're saying, like the kind of mixture of the beauty and also the nastiness of hell is a really nice dichotomy to play with. But there were certain things, I think more specifically with the demons than with hell itself, that I kind of wished that the face of the pretty demon with the half ugly face, in my mind, she's always, the ugly side of her is like really gross.
Gotcha.
And I feel like they could have pushed that a little bit more, or even with the first demon who brought him in. Like, I liked the arrows sticking out of his back, but I was kind of like, how could we make that more gross? That's just me, though.
I wasn't thinking that at all, but I didn't read the comment. I mean, I didn't read what you read. I was just sort of getting lost in the world building that was going on in front of me without any sort of, I have no dog in this fight. I'm just here for the ride.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching this and I'm like, this is cool looking to me.
It is
like,
cool looking.
I wasn't expecting any of this. I don't know what this is with the trees, and it's like the light radiating off of it.
As they're walking through like a little gate.
Yeah.
An archway.
There was this sort of labyrinth feeling to the whole thing where he lost the guy sometimes, the tall dude with the arrow out of his back, where he's just like, well, hold on, stop. Like, he doesn't know where he's at.
Yeah.
Because this guy is his lead. And so without him, he's completely lost, right? And he could just be walking in circles aimlessly. Playing with that kind of stuff was cool. It almost made me wish that the episode was longer. It was more about the unsettling feeling of it all more than anything. It was more about a creepiness than a grotesqueness. And that's what I appreciated about this, was just, it was uncomfortable. And I thought that was actually a cool way to explore hell, because I have not ever felt uncomfortable exploring hell in fiction. It's only been gross or like just a frightening image, as opposed to something that's, you know, like when he was ringing the gong when he first showed up and you just saw the one dude. It was nicely built up to me, because like, you saw the one guy who you're like, well, did I see what I saw, what I think I saw? And it's like, yeah, there's a guy there with the gong stick. Then you cut to the reverse of Dream, and it's like there's another instance of that where you're like, oh my god, there's something moving. It's a guy back there, and it cuts to the wide. So 1, 2, 3. It cuts to the wide, and there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool. The sheer numbers of her generals, of her demons. Like, when, you know, she's like, which one? There's like a billion of them.
A billion.
You know, it was unsettling, and I liked that.
Yeah, I mean, like the creepy stuff as well, like the people in the trees and all of that was really cool. Just the various levels of torture that people are going through in hell, like his ex-girlfriend being stuck in that cage of thorns reminded me of this thing my mom told me when I was a kid, like, oh, if you do bad things, you'll go to hell and you have to climb this tree which has got like a bunch of thorns in it and people get stuck in it. I'm like, that's delightful, mother.
The part for me that feels a little bit Chekhov's gunny, I'm sure no one's ever said that, is that you see just the sheer volume of demons at her army, and he doesn't go down there. He doesn't explore it. He doesn't have to contend with any of them. It would have been neat. I mean, obviously it would have been a lot more expensive, but it would have been neat to see him have to do something there. But he's got the sand in his sandbag, and it sort of feels like a, you know, super easy, barely an inconvenience, because he didn't have to fight to get to the guy who had his item, right?
Well,
now,
he did have to fight.
He had to fight, yes, but he didn't have to fight to get to the guy. Like, there was a whole huge step removed because he had his sandbag. I get it. That's a superpower. Cool. I mean, but you're exposing us to this whole thing when it's like, oh, so what? Like, come on, Lucifer, you know he's got a sandbag, right? It's like you're trying to intimidate him when you know he's got this thing that's going to cut right past all that, right?
Well, she didn't actually, because he pulled.
They didn't.
Yeah, well, he pulled it out.
I don't know,
because she thought that he'd lost all of his tools.
I suppose it was smart in the way that it was handled, because you're like, how is he going to do this? Oh yeah, he's got the sandbag. If that's what you keep going to, is it that smart for the audience? Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, are you really outwitting anyone if you just keep going back to the same tool?
But he did outwit her in the game of wits, which so I enjoyed. I thought that was so cool.
I thought that was neat, to say the least. I was like, where's this gonna go? And then it made me wonder, how does this game generally go? Like, you know what I mean?
I think they generally don't have very smart opponents, because the whole idea of saying hope, that's not even something you could see in her face. That's not even something that Lucifer would have considered. Like, she thought that she had won. She's like, yeah, well, what was the last one? It was like Devourer of Worlds or Universes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, hope. And it's so simple.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, you know, it's like those riddles that you hear as a child and you're like, wow. But the answer's so easy. It can't be, surely. And it's like, yeah, it is. It's hope.
Yeah.
Because even in the direst situations, like his ex-girlfriend in the cage there.
Yeah.
She still had hope.
Yeah.
After 10,000 years, it's enduring.
I also liked the inserts that they had to express what they were saying to each other. Like she said she was the wolf or whatever, and then he's the knight with the thing, and then she's the snake, and then bacteria, and he's the eagle, and all that stuff, and then the universe. I was like, where is this going? This is pretty wild. I was gonna shout something stupid like, you're a GRB, a gamma ray burst, you know. Something like you could be, you don't, you know, she said supernova, you could be something even more powerful. The thing that kind of threw me in that back and forth in that exchange was sometimes he was saying something and I'm like, you're not actually saying something that is a threat. That's what was weird to me. And he did that like 3 times. He says, I'm a world. I'm like, and? Like, are you chucking it at her?
No, because I think for him, he's coming at it on like a bigger scale and with this concept of love and nurturing, whereas she's coming at it with this concept of death and decay.
Sure. Yes, I got that. I got that. But it didn't start that way, so that's why I got confused. I didn't realize he was changing his game halfway through.
Yeah.
That's the thing that kind of threw me, because he started out with something very aggressive, and I didn't see a look on his face that said, I'm gonna take this a different direction. I didn't realize what was happening until like well into it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, I see. Because like nothing you're doing is aggressive, dude. Like you said, you're a world.
Kill you with love.
You said you're a world, all encompassing and beautiful, and then you're the universe, everything, blah blah blah. I'm like, what? And then when she goes, I'm the end of all time or whatever, and like at the end of the universe.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna say that he is Lucifer. Like, you know, I thought he was gonna say some kind of tactic to get her back. It's like, what exists beyond the end of time? These creatures, these people, like Dream and Lucifer and all of Dream's family members,
siblings,
they exist at the end of time. So surely you would have picked, like, that would have been like a way out of left field. Like, you were Lucifer, you're gonna kill Lucifer with Lucifer. You know, that would have been interesting. And then when he's like, what do you have to combat hope? A woman.
No, because
crusher of all dreams.
No, because even after the woman has crushed your dreams, you still have hope that she might change.
You obviously haven't dated enough women, so.
Wow.
I'm just joking. Jesus. All right. Well, anyway, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed some of that. Do subscribe, bell icon, all notifications with us up. Thanks. I'm Jabba Kawai. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.